Hey, Modern Salon. I'm Nick Stenson and Ammon Carver from Ulta Beauty. We're here to talk to you about some exciting news that we just found out yesterday that we were two of the finalists for NAHA 2018. And at Ulta Beauty, we're so excited because we got nominated for the Ulta Beauty Pro Team.
Our favorite one.
Favorite one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then Danielle Kiesling got nominated, and Ammon got nominated. I almost forgot his name. I got nominated. So together we have 9 nominations.
Yeah, I'm super excited. My salon team got nominated. I have a nail tech that got nominated. It's like we were feeling like floating right now. We're so super happy.
So, a lot of questions come up around like, what does the planning of putting together a NAHA shoot look like? What are some of the do's and don'ts? What are some of the little hot tips that you can put in your pocket to get ready for your own shoot? So, Ammon, what is the first thing that comes to mind when it talks to like really planning out your NAHA shoot?
I think the first thing is like most people, I think they get intimidated by thinking that a NAHA shoot has to be some like hugely expensive experience. And I think that when you first get started, it's really about building relationships and building some friendships and finding a photographer or a makeup artist that's interested in creating like cool creative images. And don't worry if you don't have $20,000 to invest in a NAHA shoot. My biggest advice is to get into it. I know you feel the same way. Like when we shoot, of course we shoot because we want to win, but we never shoot to try to please the judges. We shoot so that we have something that feels authentically like us, so that win, lose, or draw, you have a collection where you're feeling like, yeah, that was still me. And then year after year, whether you win or not, you can kind of look, it's like a benchmark, right? You get to see, have I grown as an artist? What did I do last year? Am I getting better? Do I need to change up my look? Am I getting a little repetitive? Like for me, it's a tool where I can shoot, take a look at where I'm going, and make sure that I push myself as an artist.
That's great advice. And, I couldn't agree more. I think the biggest thing, too, is like, NAHA for me is always something that challenges me to be better. So every single year, I just pour everything I can into creating a collection that is completely artistic and completely expresses my creativity. However, that kind of comes out in an image. Being really thorough with the idea and the concept is really important. And Ammon said it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but no matter where you're located in the country, there's a network of artists there. There's photographers, there's makeup artists, there's session stylists, there's wardrobe stylists, there's studios that are looking for really quality people to come together to build a community, to shoot something that everybody can have a say in and everybody can be really proud of. And they're all over the country, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, or everything in between. So find those networks and really like start building a really great foundation of people that you trust and people that trust you, because when you trust each other, amazing things really come out of it.
Yeah, I think that honestly, when you're diving into the nitty gritty, because it's like you find those relationships, and then of course the next step is like coming up with that idea. And the creative process is always different. Like some days it's like you're sitting there and like, boop, all of a sudden you have this great idea and I'm rolling with it. And then and sometimes like we're thinking and I'm like, that's not it and that's not it. It's like submitting to the process and understanding that the creative process itself and coming up with a concept doesn't necessarily just happen overnight. It can be something as simple as you walking in the street, wow, that was really cool. We go on a trip, you're like seeing some wardrobe that inspires a whole idea. Like a lot of my shoots, whenever I love to travel, and so whenever I go, I get inspired by different cultures and try to see how I can translate that culture into something that's like coming across. But I think that it's like allowing yourself to understand that you don't have to sit and think of this mind-blowing concept every single time. What is it that excites you? And then how can you build that into tell a story that's like uniquely you?
That's really great advice. And it's interesting when you have that trust in the group of people that you're working with, there's no such thing as a bad idea. Someone is going to have an idea that sparks something. And then you start to riff off of each other. And the photographer has an idea for lighting. And the wardrobe stylist has an idea for texture and color. And all of a sudden, that starts to get your mind going as a hairdresser of what could that look like in a complete story. And I think that's the biggest part of advice I would give to everybody out there is the hair is the hero, but what are all the accessories to really support the hero? So what does the makeup look like? What does the wardrobe look like? What does your lighting look like? What does the model look like? What is the shape you're trying to achieve? And does the model have the features to really support that?
I totally agree. And I think that also I feel like this is a subject that you and I could banter about for a long time. We'll just keep it short. But I have another one. It's like I've been had the opportunity to coach and be like a mentor. It's like one of my favorite things is like getting involved with hairdressers and helping them understand the concept of putting together a cohesive collection that tells a story and relates with each other and shows all of your skills. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to show your talent, but sometimes putting all the bells and whistles on the head of hair just because you can braid and twist and fluff and rouge and crimp doesn't mean that it's all good to put on the same head of hair. Take a step back, use an editing eye. It's just like when you're looking at art. If you give your eye like a visual pathway, sometimes those most simple classic silhouettes that have a little something extra are the ones that have the most impact.
Really well said. Really well said. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're thinking about ever entering NAHA, do it. And don't do it for anybody else but yourself. Make yourself proud. Do something that you will really hang on your wall and say, I did that, and that's my stamp on that. So on behalf of Ammon and I, we're so excited to be here with you guys today. We hope to see you in Las Vegas or see some of the work that you guys are creating. And to all the finalists out there, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas.
Love, guys.
See you soon.